Hold the phone.
What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV.
Is this real?
There can be miracles when you believe. It has happened, people. It has happened.
The day has come.
The day has come, people. Daniel Levy has officially stepped down from his role as Tottenham chairman. I can't believe it. I cannot believe what we're saying right now.
Out of nowhere.
24 years of tyranny is over.
This is a new era.
God.
This is a new era we're about to embark on.
I'm delighted right now. I can't wipe the smile off my face. I have just been like, ever since the news come on, I saw a notification come through on my phone from Spurs Express saying Daniel Levy is gone. And I was like, what's going on here?
Is that a fake account?
Literally, I said, Sim, why has Spurs Express just tweeted out saying Daniel Levy is gone? And then you were like, I don't know. And then he goes on his Twitter and he goes, what? Tottenham tears. They're saying Daniel Levy is gone. Let me just go check the Spurs official accounts. Oh my bloody God. What is happening here? Daniel Levy has stepped down from his role as Spurs chairman.
This is insane.
Oh my God. Let's read through the statement. Read through the statement, Sim, because I can't. I'm like shaking here. Like ever since I've got the news, I've been pacing up and down the studio.
We can't
I've
believe
not
it.
known what to do. But this is the biggest news, people. This is probably the biggest news that we've heard since starting the bloody channel. So come on, read through the statement.
So Tottenham have announced that Daniel Levy has today stepped down from his role as executive chairman after nearly 25 years. Tottenham Hotspur has been transformed over the last quarter of a century. It's played in European competition in the last 18 of 20 seasons, becoming one of the world's most recognised football clubs, consistently investing in its academy, players, facilities, including a new world-class stadium and state-of-the-art training ground. The club has also competed regularly at the highest level, enjoying a number of fantastic on-field successes, including the recent Europa League Cup win. As part of its succession planning, the club has made a number of senior appointments in recent months, including Vinay Venkatesham, who was hired as CEO, with Thomas Frank as our new men's head coach, and Martin Ho as the new women's head coach. Peter Charrington joined the board and will step into the newly created role of non-executive chairman. This is all part of the club's ambition to ensure that is set up to deliver long-term sporting success. Daniel Levy has said, I'm incredibly proud of the work I've done together with the executive team and all our employees. We have built this club into a global heavyweight, competing at the highest level. More than that, we have built community, and I was lucky enough to work with some of the greatest people in this sport, from the team at Lily White House and Hotspur Way to all the players and managers over the years. I wish to thank all the fans that have supported me over the years. It hasn't always been an easy journey, but significant progress has been made. I will continue to support the club passionately. Peter Charrington, who's now the non-executive chairman, has said, I'm very honoured to become non-executive chairman of this extraordinary club. On behalf of the board, I'd like to thank Daniel and his family for their commitment and loyalty to the club over many years. This is a new era of leadership of the club on and off the pitch. I do recognise there has been a lot of change in recent months as we put in new foundations for the future. We are now fully focused on stability and empowering our talented people across the club, led by Vinay and his executive team. There are no changes to the ownership or shareholder structure of the club.
Well, they weren't bloody lying when they were talking about summer of change. How many times have we spoken about summer of change since supporting this football club? Well, now we've actually really got one. Started off with Donna Cullen, bit the dust. Daniel Levy, gone. Collicott, I think he's gone. I'm not sure if he's gone or not. You're talking about mad changes at boardroom level this summer. Mad changes in the Football League staff, bringing in talent across the board, bringing in a whole new coaching staff led by Thomas Frank. This has been the biggest summer of change I've ever seen at this football club, and this is obviously the biggest one of the lot. The biggest one of the lot. I'm telling you, this is the best transfer window that we've ever had, that this football club has ever had. And look, obviously you can tell I'm delighted at this moment in time, and obviously I haven't made my feelings on Daniel Levy quiet over the past couple of years. But what I do want to say at this moment in time, the club is a very different club to the one Daniel Levy and ENIC picked up in 2001. They have brought the club onto a different pedestal. Getting to a Champions League final, winning the Europa League, but not only that, commercially in a completely different space. The new stadium, training ground, all the infrastructure is there for Spurs to be an unbelievable, massive club. So I want to give them massive credit for doing that, because in that aspect, they have done incredibly well. We are a club ready to explode, and this is what needed to happen, in my opinion, for the club to explode. It's time to hand it over to new people. It's time for fresh ideas to come in. It's time for the football to be at the forefront of this football club, which I believed it would never have been with Daniel Levy at the club. And yes, I know they're saying, it's not changing the ownership structure or anything like that, so it could be much of the same. But I think that there is going to be change in that aspect. I think this is just one of the dominoes to fall for real change to happen at the top. And I cannot be more delighted at this moment in time. The club, I don't think, could progress to where we wanted it to progress to under Daniel Levy. I've said on a number of occasions, I think the ceiling for us under Daniel Levy is top 4 challenges. I know we had a small stint as fighting in the league titles under Maurizio Pochettino, but we quickly regressed back to, mid-table abyss, and then now back, hopefully fighting for top 4 this season under Thomas Frank. But I think this is so significant for Tottenham Hotspur. I think this can only be good news. I really do, and I'm so excited now to see what the future can hold for Tottenham Hotspur. And I think every Spurs fan right now should be absolutely delighted in which the direction the club is going in.
Well, this is clearly something that's been in the pipeline for a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
In hindsight, because we heard a lot of stuff over the summer about Charrington coming in and butting heads with Daniel Levy and wanting to take Tottenham in a different direction. Daniel Levy, still having that stranglehold over the finances and the way he operates. And I think at the end of the day, this is something that has needed to happen for a while. I think Daniel Levy has done exceptionally well to get us to the point that he has done. But I think it's clear for everyone to see that even his biggest defenders, have to admit that the club need a new figurehead at the top if we're going to progress beyond where we are at the moment and really challenge the guys at the top. Now, it doesn't mean it's guaranteed just because Levy's left that it's all upside now and we're going to go win leagues and Champions Leagues. But what we do know is change needed to happen. Change needed to happen at the top. I think everyone's realised that. I think the club clearly, the board realised that Daniel Levy at the moment, when it comes to the footballing side of the club, he's just not fit for purpose. And as much as he's done a phenomenal job building the infrastructure, the stadium, the finances, as you said, we have all the ingredients to be competing with whoever we need to compete with. We have all the ingredients a top club needs. We just need that extra step. And Daniel Levy at the moment hasn't proven to be able to provide that. And I think he hasn't proven that consistently. So I think this change is a welcome change from all fans. Obviously, he also puts a lot of the noise to bed when it comes to the fan base, Levy out, all this kind of stuff. It's now happened now. That change has now happened. So all the protests and all these different things change for Spurs. This is what it looks like. We've been calling for it. There's been protests about it. There's been a lot of noise about it. So we've got what we asked for. And now let's hope that all our dreams can start coming true in regards to what's happened today. This is the biggest news that's happened to Tottenham probably in my lifetime. All I've known really since I was young is Daniel Levy at Tottenham. Obviously, he joined in 2001. I was 9 years of age. So ever since I've properly started following Tottenham, Daniel Levy has been the figurehead and been the face of the club. And he's all I've really known. Tottenham is Daniel Levy. So the fact we're thinking about a Tottenham without him, we've already gotten used to the fact that we're going to have to think of a Tottenham without Son after 10 years. But now without Daniel Levy after 25 is something that I can't quite believe is actually happening. I can't quite put... even envisage what a Tottenham without Daniel Levy looks like. But all we got to say is now we're embarking on a new era. This is a new Tottenham we're going to be looking at now. This is a new journey. And this is hopefully we have closed the Daniel Levy chapter of Tottenham now. And whatever you want to say about Daniel Levy, you have to say, you know, in terms of where he took over Spurs, where we are now, and the club we are now, you know, he's done a very good job in getting us to where we are. So you have to thank him for leaving us in an incredible situation in which we are. But we all know, to go to that next step, he needed to step aside. We need some change, and we needed someone else at the helm. Maybe this could facilitate a sale, because apparently he's been the stumbling block of that, and he's been the one putting roadblocks in the way of Tottenham being able to sell. He's been being an obstacle to Tottenham selling to a different owner or whatever. So maybe this is the pretext for that. Whatever it is, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be fresh, and it's going to be a new era, a new journey. And I'm really, really excited about where that leads. And I think we can all dream today about what the new era and Tottenham, what do we call it? Tottenham 2.0, potentially? Tottenham 3.0? Whatever you call it.
Mate. It's just Tottenham. Mate.
Tottenham. This is a Daniel Levy-less Tottenham now, from now and for the next chapter, and I can't wait to see what that looks like. But I just want to caution, because, you know, you see what Man United, they long wanted the Glazers to step aside, and they did, and it hasn't immediately gotten better, has it? In fact, it's, you know, in the short term gotten worse. So it's not, you know, as much as we're excited about what the future holds, we can't sit here and say, 'cause Levy's gone, now is all great, and now is all upside.
The Glazers are still there. You know, the Glazers.
But Enoch is still there. Enoch still runs the club.
Still there. You know, Newcastle have been desperate for ownership change, and it's got a whole lot better for them. I think that all the infrastructure is there at Tottenham Hotspur to make this club explode. This club has been ready to explode since probably the stadium has opened, and I think, you know, if you get the right people in there. It's all about getting the right people in there. Charrington is obviously the new CEO now. Is he going to stay CEO for a while, or is this just the kind of holding place until there's a massive takeover at Tottenham? I don't know. We have heard stuff about, you know, Vivian Lewis and how she wants to put footballing matters on the forefront of this football club, and I'm sure she's going to be heavily involved in some point. You know, we've actually seen Vivian Lewis sitting next to Levy at some points during games this season.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to be heavily involved at some point. There has been rumours that Levy and Vivian Lewis didn't see eye to eye and stuff like that. At the beginning of the summer, we heard rumours that this was going to happen. Levy was going to step down. Charrington was going to be CEO. Vinay was going to be put on the board. And there was a suggestion that Paratici was going to be on the board as well. And I think if that's true, there's no confirmation of that as of yet. But if that is true, and that's something that can happen, to put a proper footballing person like Fabio Paratici on the board, I think that would be absolutely sensational for us. When's the last time Spurs have had an actual footballing person on the board? Probably never. Probably never, because I don't know what the board structure looked like before Sir Alan Sugar. Alan Sugar was what kind of I grew up with at Tottenham, or the start of my Tottenham career, and all I remember and the vague memories I have is protests for Sugar and George Graham to leave Tottenham Hotspur. But this is a monumental moment.
And I think when you talk about the changes it will make to the footballing operations, you know, Daniel Levy has just made an enemy of so many chairmen over the years as well. And I think obviously that comes with his tough negotiation style and the fact that he's, you know, probably done some underhanded things as well, gone back to the table when the things already agreed. There's a load of different stories about Daniel Levy and how he's negotiated. So, you know, you've even seen this summer, I think it's been kind of like, as people see it as like a massive win, or it's been like a game to try and get one up on Daniel Levy, isn't it? With a lot of chairmen at the moment. So the fact we've kind of removed that now and we can start afresh, we have someone different at the helm doing the negotiating.
Who is going to do the negotiations?
I don't know. I've got no idea, but it's going to be a different voice in the room. It's going to be someone else. And I think, look, at the end of the day, I think we have been seeing a change in our approach this summer, going for bigger players, higher profile players, putting down a release clause for Gibbs White, whatever you want to say about it, going for bigger players who are in their prime of their careers, challenging bigger clubs for these better players as well, you know, putting down bigger money. So I think there has been a change in a slight change in our approach this summer. And has this been a precursor to Daniel Levy leaving? I think clearly there's been so much in place, hasn't there?
Clearly it has. I think, you know, this doesn't happen overnight. This has probably been in the works for some time. And I think that the summer that you've seen at Tottenham Hotspur, I can only hope and pray but I genuinely believe it as well, that the summer that you've just seen at Tottenham Hotspur, with the calibre of player, with the money that we're willing to put down, I think that's what you're going to start to see from Tottenham now. And I think there's going to be some serious ambition at this football club.
Yeah, and I hope so. I hope so. And I hope this is the new era proves fruitful, and the new era is one of many trophies and getting us to where we want to be, which is challenging right at the very top with the biggest clubs, and not settling for second best or third best, fourth best, and trying to be the best we can be. And there's always been something holding us back, as much as we've, look, when you got to say, when Levy came in, we were a mid-table team, weren't we? We how many years have we not gone in Europe before Levy came? Europe was a dream in itself before Levy.
100%. Look, like I said, there are many things.
I'm saying from a footballing point of view as well. We're in a different, not just structurally, like from a footballing point of view. 100%. Football's now European football's now an expectation.
Yeah.
Whereas when Levy first came in, I remember when we hadn't been in Europe for so long, I was like, we were looking at the Fair Play League to see if we can get in, and I was like, oh, it's a dream to just even sneak in that way. That's how desperate we were for Europe back then.
That year we got it under Martin Jol, going to Prague, that first European game. That was the first time since we got there, since I think winning the Worthington Cup in 1999, when we went out to Kaiserslautern and Stephen Carr scoring own goals and all this kind of stuff. So now we're in a different way where Europe has been, as the statement said, 18 of the last 20 seasons we've been in Europe. Champions League, I don't know for 7 of those. So it's the norm to be in Europe. But it's all well and good doing that, and it is great, but we haven't been able to make that next step. And we've tried different things, but he has not been able to get it done when it comes to getting us competitive consistently and keeping us competitive, and not letting things fall by the wayside, and making bad decision after bad decision on the footballing side of things and holding us back in certain ways. So you know what they say, Sim? They say if you're not moving forwards, if you're standing still, you're moving backwards, and that's what we've done for far too long at this football club. It's all very well him getting us to that certain stage, but he wasn't able to get us to the next stage. And you need to keep moving forward and progressing as a football club. And I thank him for progressing us to a certain level, but we've stagnated for too long.
Yeah, there needed to be change. And now here it is.
Yeah.
So these next few years are going to be very, very interesting.
So Ali Gold has just tweeted, he said, Peter Charrington is the new non-exec chairman. Levy was executive chairman, so Vinay Venkatesham is hands-on with the day-to-day running of the football club as CEO. Levy and his family still own or are beneficiaries of 29.88% of Enix's share of the club. So he's still involved in some way, but he's not any sort of decision maker. So
Vinay is doing the day-to-day. So Vinay is basically going to be doing all the micromanaging that Levy was doing. But does that mean Vinay is going to be doing the negotiating? Or is that Charrington?
Look, I imagine it'll be Vinay. I think from now until January transfer window, I'm sure it will come to light what the actual structure is and who's going to be doing what, and will other people come in, and will there be an ownership? Look, I'm sure everything will come. But for now, the transfer window is shut. Vinay is going to be running the day-to-day of the football club.
So it's interesting we announced it so close after the end of the transfer window, isn't it?
Yeah.
So clearly this was planned before the window. We know all these things were put in place. So I do wonder, was this Levy basically showing Vinay and Charrington the ropes of this is how we do transfers at the transfer window? This is a handover, because he could have left before the window, but he didn't. He waited till the window was closed to leave, and obviously we know he was doing the negotiating for Eze and for other players. So
I am desperate to know what role Don Paratici is going to be taken up at Tottenham Hotspur.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be significant for me. But look, that is the breaking news today. Daniel Levy has stepped down as Tottenham chairman. And I know one person